I'm going to share a story with you that I found to be incredibly enlightening, and perhaps it will enlighten you too. This is a story of Napoleon's absolute determination to conquer Russia. If you have ever read the works of Neville Goddard, amazing by the way, highly recommend. He encourages you to have absolute determination. However, we're gonna add to that to make it even more powerful. On one side, we have the very determined Napoleon, and on the Russian side, we have General Kutuzov. Kutuzov was known to fall asleep, like to drink, so it seemed like an uneven match, an easy win for Napoleon. As Napoleon continued to advance into Russian territory, Kutuzov fell back and continued falling back. As Napoleon got deeper into Russian territory, this also meant that he was growing further from his supply line. And although Kutuzov seemed to be rather oblivious and unprepared, he knew exactly what he was doing. Kutuzov was relying on a critical ally, and that was the brutal Russian winter that he knew the French were unequipped to handle. When Napoleon finally reaches Moscow, his single most important goal, he found no one to conquer. It's because Kutuzov had retreated. Kutuzov had also set the city on fire. So far in the story, it looks like Kutuzov is losing the battle. But at this moment, Napoleon had no other choice but to retreat. Not only because he had endured a harsh winter and also was running low on supplies. And it is at this very vulnerable moment that Kutuzov attacks and successfully defeats Napoleon. Now let's break it down to the very insightful parts of the story. Napoleon's absolute determination left him blind and mindless. Kutuzov was creative, he was aware, he was mindful, he was open. Normally when you retreat, that is seen or perceived as defeat. However, he was open to recategorizing a retreat and converting it into a deathful trap. And when Napoleon invaded Moscow, Kutuzov chose to see it from a different context because he knew that a harsh winter and lack of supplies would leave Napoleon very vulnerable. And while I do think that having absolute determination is important, adding the components of awareness, receptiveness, openness, mindfulness can be even more powerful. Because sometimes having this absolute determination can keep you blind. Here's an easy example, just in case that story was not it for you. Let's say that you want to obtain a very expensive car. I'm not into cars, so let's say a BMW. And you are so focused in obtaining that car that the universe could be like, oh, you want that BMW? Sure. However, I have a Lamborghini over here. Because you are so determined and so focused on that specific car, you are blind to what the universe, God, your creator, may be offering you. So do practice absolute determination. However, be open and mindful and aware of what else the universe may be offering you. I know the story was long, but it's absolutely beautiful, enlightening, and I hope that it helps you see things with different eyes.